What's up, everybody? I'm Brian, and this is More Low, Less Talk. Is that the right direction? It might have gone that way. I don't know. Anyway, I'm super happy. The upper arm is finally installed, and it's working. It's only kind of tacked in a little bit. It's kind of half tacked and half welded. I'll get to all that. But I'm super happy right now. The suspension's all the way up. Check out how high this guy comes, man. Keep in mind, this is a car, okay? It's not a mini truck. This is I've already taken my measurements of where I wanted it to be from before, and it is exactly where I want it to be now. The only, I think, little small thing is really fast to fix. The pinion angle is down. I think it's 3 degrees, and it needs to be up 1 degree. And ideally it would stay up 1 degree through the whole cycle. But since the upper arm is slightly shorter than the lower arm, because I didn't want it to protrude too far into the back of the seat, I had to shorten it. That was my only thing, is I'm not going too far into the back of the seat. So I had to shorten it a little bit, but the pinion angle only changes, I think, 3 degrees. Whereas before it was going from 1 degree like this, like I'm going to make it, to 15 or 16 degrees down. And that was our whole problem. And so all this work to fix that. But it's turning out very, very good. I'm really happy. And this video is going to show everything that I did, not necessarily step by step, but I think the next video is going to be doing the other side, and that one's going to go a lot quicker. I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining to watch. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, man, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we're going to get to it. What's up, everybody? We're going to take a break from the rear suspension today. I'm still waiting on some parts, and they will be here today according to the shipping. So in the meantime, I'm going to do a small job today that I've been meaning to do. I thought I was done with the front, but I decided I wanted to install some bump stops. Now, these are just some universal style bump stops, and I kind of got my plan already on how to put these in. So I'm going to start by pulling this wheel and the fender off, and I think I'm also going to go ahead and yank the airbag and shock off of here as well, just to so I don't have anything fighting me when I'm cycling the suspension up and down trying to fit these in. But this should be a pretty small job even for me. So let's get this going. All right, everybody, got everything off. Now here is the place where I want my bump stop to live. All right, I've got a factory hole there. I don't remember if the factory bump stop was there or not. I yanked that out 15 years ago. But as you can see, what happens when I pump this thing up, right, we're hitting our bar that I welded in before to strengthen the frame, and so I'm going to have to cut a little scoop out of that so that this thing can go all the way up. It's almost there. It's only got another inch or so to go up, but anyway, I'm going to scoop that out, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to make a like a bracket or something. I don't know how to call it, to where the bump stop will hit it and stop the suspension. All right, let's see if we can get a good look at this thing. We are cycled up as high as it will go. We're not touching it anywhere. You can even see some, there we go. I don't know if we can get the right angle, but we can see some light all the way around it. So I think we're good there. Now it's time to start making a bracket, which is probably the only actual fab work I'll be doing today. Okay, I made this little weird contraption out of some paper and just kind of whittled away at it a little bit. And we're going to start with just this bottom piece. So just this piece right here. I'm going to start with that, get that welded on, and then I'm going to make this piece, because this is this is paper. It's so flexible, it's probably not going to fit on there very well if I just cut it the way it is, but at least it's a starting point. So, but I know the bottom one is actually really good, so I'm going to go ahead and get that one started. All right, so I got the first part of the bracket in here. Now it's time to make all of this part that goes around here. Okay, so this is my contraption that I came up with. And crazy about my welds on this side. I might have to do, I don't know. I might be a little lazy, but I might just leave that. I don't know. There's a little bit, that bit right there. I don't like that. I might just sand that down, grind that down. But anyway, I do have a little bit to grind down right here on the underside, and then I need to weld on the underside. But overall, that's what I was trying to do for this bump stop. So, all right, I think that's going to be it for today. I just got a text saying that my shipment for the rear suspension stuff that I was waiting for, that came in. So I'm going to go grab that, and next time you see me, it will be tomorrow, and I will be working on that again. Hopefully I can get at least close to getting this one side of the rear suspension done, and once that's done, man, the other side ought to take 1/4 of the time. It might only take a couple of days to do the whole thing. That'd be really cool if I could do that. So anyway, but yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, it is a new day. I am cutting out brackets for the inside right here. So you can see I made this cardboard tin plate, and it kind of goes in there like that, and I'm going to have one on each side of this bar. All right, so I'm in the middle of cutting them. I'm almost done. Them on the floor right here. But anyway, so all I've done was I took and traced all these patterns on here onto this piece of 1/4 inch steel, and Anyway, I'm just gonna cut it out. Now I'm using my plasma, and all I did was set this piece up to use as a straight edge, and I'm just gonna use that, and that's just guiding my line. That's gonna help keep me fairly straight on these cuts and stuff. And this is actually the last straight cut that I've got. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. Oh. Ah. Man, look at that. Burned the shit out of my, can you see that? Had a piece of steel, melted steel, go right through my shoe, into the bottom, see, right through my shoe, into the bottom, into the top of my sock, and then went between my toes and underneath there. What the fuck? That was really hot. Oh man, I'm gonna have a blister on the bottom of my foot now. Anyway, let's keep going. Keep your feet away from underneath the part you're cutting. That's what I just learned. All right, so I got it cut. I think I've got to replace the tip on my plasma cutter. It's cutting at an angle. As you can see here, like literally every cut now it wasn't like that at first. Not a big deal. We're just gonna grind it down on these edges anyway. But now we need to get rid of all this extra sort of melted metal. So just gonna hit this up with the grinder, and then after that, what we'll have to do is drill the holes. Okay, kind of jumping around a little bit, but what I've done here is I've made all 4 brackets. I've already drilled the holes, and I've got this drill bit in here to kind of keep the holes lined up. And now what I'm going to do is come through these plasma cut edges. Let's see if I can grab this camera straight. I'm going to come through and grind these plasma cut edges. I'll hit it with the grinder first, and then I'll hit it with a flat disc, and I'll do that all the way around, and that way they're all the same brackets once we're done. And then we're going to move on to the next phase. But they don't need to all be perfectly exactly the same, because I'm actually going to come through here eventually and bevel these edges and stuff, but as long as I get them pretty close to each other, that's all that matters. And the biggest thing is that this lines up, so, which it does obviously. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so once I've got this, one big unit, I've only got one hand so I can only hold one, but basically I'm going to be able to come over here and then hold this up here and trace out on the frame where that's at, and I'll be able to cut out there, and then I'll be able to weld this whole thing in as one big unit, and that will hold this piece in where I want it. And finally I will have a fully installed top bar. So I'm excited. Let's get going. All right, y'all. So it was kind of hard to describe what I needed to do. So I just went ahead and built it, and now you can kind of see this little sort of box, the triangle box thing that goes around the suspension. And let's see. And you can see how it cycles up and down like that. So this end obviously is going to be on top of the axle, so the axle goes this way, and this end is on the frame, and this little bit right here pokes out into the back seat. So the back seat's right here. So this is from the passenger side looking towards the driver's wheel. This is what we're looking at. So I didn't really know how to explain that without showing it to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and get to welding on this thing. This thing, by the way, doesn't look like it has a very big throw, but it's 10 inches. And my ride height, I think, is like around 5 or 6 inches. So that gives me plenty of travel, even past my ride height if I need it. So anyway, we get back to welding, and I'll show you some of that. Not supposed to leave this in here while you're welding. It'll melt the rubber. It doesn't look like it did any damage at all, but like I scared myself there. Ran out of wire right there at the very end. All right, that said though, here are the welds. I've definitely seen better, but I've definitely seen worse, and I'm sure even worse still by window tinters. So, you know, I guess that's not too bad. I got another spool of wire that I can replace that with, and I will go ahead and I gotta let this cool off first, and I could go ahead and get to making the other one. I've got all the pieces right here. I could just go ahead and get to making the other one for the other side and have it ready to either the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. I'm going to get started on installing these. I probably will wait till tomorrow morning. It's already getting kind of late today. I'll build this other one, and then first thing tomorrow, this will be cool and everything, and I will basically hold it up into here, and I'm going to have to trace on the frame here where that piece is going to kind of push through, and that might be another one of those things. It's just easier to do it first and then show you after the fact. So all right, well, let me get to work on this other one. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an upper link that is connected. I can't even believe it. I skipped all of it in the video. I was just really focused on trying to figure out how to make it happen. So I promise on the next video we'll see video of me actually making it and installing it and everything. But Here's what I want to show. Our lower link, well, right now is reading 1.2. Should be 1, but you get the idea. It's close enough. Our upper link, get the dust off of there. Reading 1. That basically means that they're parallel. All right, so wherever it is set right here at this ride height, wherever the pinion angle's set, this is it right here. So I mean that's money. All right, I'll come on inside and I'll show you the final product. Not the final product, but it's set in there anyway. All right. All right, so here is our mount that we made. Obviously, some of it's kind of welded in, some of it's just tacked in. This is it, man. I mean, this is you know, protruding in a little bit, but I think once we get the seat in it, honestly, judging by this bolt, this is a seat, I guess a seat belt bolt. It looks like this kind of lands right in between the upper part of the seat and the lower part of the seat. So I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get there, how that's going to look. But anyway, this is it, man. This is in here. It's solid. I've already cycled the axle up and down and everything. We got proper travel. One thing that I knew I needed from measurements from before is the measurement from the top of the frame right here down to the axle. With it all the way up is 4.5 inches. I know that's where I want it to be, so I'm going to jack up high as it'll go. All right, now from here it's trying to jack the car up, so this is as high as it'll go. And my friends, we are at 4.5 inches to the top of the frame. Exactly where we want it. I mean, exactly. I mean, it stops right there. So that's exactly where we want it. We're going to copy it and make the other side do the same thing. And one last thing I want to show is the pinion angle. All right, now these are not equal length upper and lower arms. I wanted to make them equal length, but it would just protrude too far into the seat. And if you remember, that was really my one thing, is I don't want it to go past, like I'll cut out the back of the back seat, but I don't want it to go past and look weird looking from the front once the seat's installed. Ooh. Okay, but here's what I want to show. Pinion with it all the way up is 4.2 degrees. Now this is not pointing up, this is pointing down, so it's actually 5 degrees, well, roughly 5 degrees off. But that's a whole lot better than 16 degrees, which is what I started with. So I'm going to let this axle back down. All right. Now we're back to ride height roughly. Again, should be reading 1.9 is close enough. We'll put it back on the pinion. .3, so we're pretty close. Sorry, camera shut off. But anyway, yeah, we're 3 degrees the wrong direction. So we're 3 degrees down, we need to be 1 degree up, ideally. So what I'm going to do is just extend that upper control arm just a little bit, and that ought to fix that problem. Well, it will fix that problem. So, but I'm excited I have me a actual functioning mount for my upper control arm. I'm really happy about that. So anyway, whew, that's it for this episode. Like I said, the next episode is going to be a lot more, I guess, install content. Because just this one, man, I was just in a mad dash trying to get this thing figured out. And now I have it figured out, and the other side's going to go in about a quarter of the time, I believe. So I'm hoping, 2-3 days worth of work, and I'll have the other side completely done. And you'll get to check that out all on the next episode. But for right now, thank you guys for watching. I kind of apologize. It's taken quite a bit longer than I expected to get this part of it done. But this is one of those you got to get right the first time, man. You don't want to keep redoing something like this. So that's it. Later.